The market bounces after last week's nosedive. Is it a dead cat or are the bulls back? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay guys, so I am aware that the lighting in this video is not good. It will be like this all week as I am outside by the ocean and the lighting is what it is. But in last week's video, we did talk about the fact that the market would move down towards 5450, and that's exactly what we saw on Friday as the market cratered down through that level into 5400 before bouncing on Monday. Now the question is that a dead cat bounce or are the bulls back? I'll get into that in just 1 second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, I am really excited. We have something very cool here. We use an algorithm to trade in my room that I developed. It is a very successful algorithm, and I've been able to turn it into a trading view indicator. As you can see on the screen, it gave us 4 entries today, 2 buys and 2 sells. They were all successful. We absolutely crushed it in our room today, and this is what we're putting out to the public here in the very near future. I just wanted to give you a quick sneak peek of today's action and how it looks. It's very simple, and that will be out very soon. If you want to be part of this winning team, stay tuned for later in the video. For now, let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 1-hour futures chart for the S&P 500, and they moved down through that 5450 area we were looking for them to hold. They came down into our secondary target, which was the 5400 area or the 50% retrace. This is a secondary A wave target. And now we've got a few different options here, and the bounce will tell us where we're at. So if this bounce turns into a 5-wave structure to the upside, we would be looking for a direct breakout toward the 5850 area. And that would mean that all of this circle B is done, as they did get down to the 50% retrace. This 5400 area was a target, 5400 to 5350. So if that is the case, we would just consider all of circle B done here. And then we would look for them to move higher in the C wave, and it should be a pretty strong move to the upside should that happen. So that would be a first option, is if we get 5 waves to the upside, okay, and then a pullback, we would look to break out towards 5,500 over the all-time highs and move directly higher. Now, if the bounce is corrective, so if we get an ABC type bounce, then we can count it as one of 2 possibilities. The first possibility would be that it is this B wave we have on the chart, and then we'd look for C lower into this 5328 to 5250 area before then heading higher. Or we have a potential for a 5 down for a wave 1 of C. Actually, it'd be 1 of C, and then a bounce, and then we'd look for 3, 4, and 5 lower and a bigger breakdown overall. So if that's going to be the case, we would look for a 5-wave move down that breaks this 5250 area. And that would likely tell us we're in for a much bigger correction overall. The other option is that this can move directly lower, because we did retrace to the 382 today at 54.99. We were just under that level, but basically we're at that 382 retrace. Very common wave 4 target. So it is possible we're starting that C wave and still continuing, where this is wave 3, this is wave 4, and we get wave 5 down into this area. And this would be 1 of C. And then we'd look for a corrective bounce and a bigger breakdown from there. So directly lower would be a little bit more bearish. Any bounces could be bearish or bullish, just depending on the structure. So structure tells us everything. That's how Elliott Wave works. 5-wave moves are impulsive and mean higher. 3-wave moves are corrective and mean we likely get a move down after that. So really going to depend on what kind of structure we get off of this low. 5605 is the bullish key level. If they break through that, we're very likely going to break through this consolidation level here and head toward new all-time highs. Over on the NASDAQ, once again, the NASDAQ continues to be weaker. It was weaker by not getting through at 764 here. This was a lower move up than on the ES. This was a lower move down than on the ES. They got all the way to their 618 instead of their 0.5 retrace. So that tells you that this is very likely all of this B wave, because a bounce and then lower, they can hold 18,000 basically, but below that, and the NASDAQ's in a little bit of trouble and starts to look pretty bearish on the downside. So NASDAQ continues to be weaker. Even on the bounce today, they only got to their 236 at about 18,651. They got a little higher than that, but essentially in that area. They weren't near their 382 like the ES was. So the NASDAQ continues to be a problem for the bulls. They can catch up. The NASDAQ is famous for doing that, so we'll see how this plays out overall. But I do look for the NASDAQ to have a potential top in up here and be continuing lower in that bigger count. And if that's the case, ES will follow along. But we don't just throw it out there and hope. We look for structure and we look for reason. So got a pretty good 3 waves down, potentially 5. I could call this 5 down, but I would like to see maybe a 4-5 here, a little bit lower into this 17.8 area. That would look really strong for the bears. Now, they don't have to push this directly lower. They can come up to the 382 at about 18,838, even as high as basically 19,000 as a 50% retrace. I'd like to see them stay under that, closer to the 382. But I would look for the potential for this to be a 4-5. And if that is the case and they're able to break this 17,987 or basically 18,000 level, if they're able to break through that, that would be a major warning to the bulls on the NASDAQ that the bullish top is in, and we'd be starting a much bigger bearish correction. So that would be our first look, is that we would look for that 4-5 potential. Next, we would look for the 2 upside potentials, one of them being a 5-wave move. And if it's a 5-wave move, then we start to turn bullish. We'd look for a pullback and then a breakout. And that would head towards 22,000 overall. That would be our target area. And then if this is corrective, it's very possible that this could be all of 1 of C here. They have got a deep enough move down. This would be 2 of C, and then you'd have 1 of 3 of C, 2 of 3 of C, and then a much bigger breakdown overall, where the market would really start to push down below the April lows and start a much bigger correction. So again, structure is everything on the NASDAQ. It is much weaker than the ES as far as fib levels go, as far as strength goes, as far as how deep it's dropping versus how high it's bouncing. So NASDAQ is the problem for the bulls. If they can correct that and get a 5-wave move up, we can see a rally towards 22,000. Otherwise, we're looking for corrective bounces and lower overall. Guys, if you love the information I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link. It'll take you right over to the webpage. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial. This is because I want you to get in there. Make sure you love it. Become part of our trading team. Make sure it's for you. Interact with PT and I. And make sure it's something you want before you ever spend a penny. You can cancel at any time, and you literally have nothing to lose by checking us out. We also have our educational material, our Elliott Wave for Beginners online course, as well as our advanced Elliott Wave course. These courses are helping traders understand this complex market and make money doing it. In our advanced course, we go through a lot of the more complex patterns, like your fib levels, your diagonals, your double and triple threes, flats, triangles, all the things that make it really tough to understand the market. But as you can see on the screen, our traders are really enjoying it and making money with these complex patterns. But if this is a little bit too advanced for you and you're just getting started with Elliott Wave, we also have our Elliott Wave for Beginners online course. This course is helping real traders make real money and finally understand this market in a way that makes sense. It can be really confusing when good news makes the market go down and bad news makes the market go up. And this is because Elliott knew that the news cycles were garbage long ago. He knew that key levels mattered and what happens when those key levels hold and what happens when they break. And this gives you a huge advantage over the rest of the market. This course, it's 25 videos. We go through 3 parts. Here's your introduction, where we go through your expectations, your mindset and emotion, why this works, chart setup and tools, all the tools you need to use with Elliott Wave Theory, how we use them and why we use them, and the Elliott Wave for Beginners area, where we go through all of the different things you need to know with Elliott Wave theories, such as your corrective zigzags, your theory of alternation, corrective depth theory, the pivot, all the waves, how to find the key levels, everything you need to know to make sense of a complex market. Now, the cool thing about these courses is if you want to get them both at a discount, you can get them for $37 off with our Elliott Wave bundle course. However, if you don't want to pay anything at all, you can get them for free simply by joining one of our monthly rooms. In our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where I go over exactly where we are in the counts, go through several different charts, get you updated, show a big picture view, answer the questions, go through everything we're looking at a much larger view. And that call alone, I think, is worth the price of admission. You also get all of the training material you just saw. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing in day trades, so we do trade quite often in my room. But if you're looking for futures trading, individual stocks, income trading, or advanced training, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as that individual stocks, those futures trading. His income trading method continues to crush, and his reduced risk binary method that gets you in at a cheap price and gets you huge multiples on your money. It's how he structures those trades that's so unique, and it's really something you have to see to understand. That's another reason we give you that 7-day free trial. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account, trading mini ES futures, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we'd love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. All right, our key takeaways for today: structure is everything. All 3-wave bounces look lower. So anything that's corrective in 3 waves, we would look for a drop after. Any 5-wave move does point towards 58.50, and a direct move lower would be considered a wave 5 and could be very bearish overall for the market. On the NASDAQ, again, structure is everything. It is weaker overall. A direct drop lower would be a wave 5 of 1 of C. Any corrective bounce, we would look lower overall, and any 5-wave move, we'd be looking towards 22,000. Guys, that is your market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.